This is Noor Zibda, and it is the Thank Gut It's Fixed show. And today's episode is going to be about constipation and how to solve it. What does it really mean to have constipation? And things that you need to know. Like, there are things that you can do on your own, but also giving you suggestions for things that might be happening, contributing to your constipation. Now, first of all, what does it mean to have constipation? And it's how many times do you a day or a week do you have bowel movements? That's the first question. In general, it is recommended that you have one bowel movement at least every day, because you are eating, you are producing waste, your body's processing food. Then we want to make sure that you're getting rid of that food, because if it gets stuck or if it gets backed up, sometimes that there are byproducts of detoxification and waste, and we just want things to be moving. We don't want bacteria to be fermenting the food. We just don't want it to stay there, because when it stays there can lead to infections and a whole lot of issues. And if you think about it, it takes about 33 to about 47 hours from the time you eat something till the time you get rid of it. And so a bowel movement that you have today may actually be containing the byproducts or the waste of something that you ate a day or a day and a half ago. And if you eat beets or blueberries, you'll see the changes in color in your bowel movements. So what we really want to make sure is that we know that having a healthy bowel movement, you want to have at least one every day. But also constipation, you can have a bowel movement every day but still be constipated because of the texture. So I'm going to show you here a stool chart. There's actually a stool chart that is called the Bristol stool chart, and there are going to be images of how your bowels or how your stool will look like, and that will give you an idea. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger in here. So the Bristol stool chart, you can look that up online as well if you can't see it clearly. But if you have type 1, which is separate hard lumps, it looks like a pebble, or peas or beans, then that means that you're constipated. So even though you have this once a day, that is constipated. What we really want for your bowel movements to look like number 3 and number 4. I know it's kind of silly to look at these, and it's always funny when I have a young kid or a teenager, and they're a little bit, think it's funny, but this is part of your health. This is part of your gut health. And so you want to be in number 3 or 4. It looks kind of like a banana. The more you go to 6 and 7, that is diarrhea and inflammation. I'll be talking about those separately. But knowing that if it's hard to push it, if it's coming out as pebbles, then that is also constipation, even if you have it once a day. So we want the texture and how easy it passes, and we also want the frequency both to be appropriate, or like the right texture, and at least once a day. Okay, so what I want to share with you, some things that you can do to cover up the basics. Now, if you have any questions, please write them, and I will be doing my best to monitor the questions, and I also will comment back after the video if you're watching the recording. So the most important thing is, well, they're all equally as important. So I'm going to start with drinking enough liquids, and especially water. You can be constipated because you're not hydrated. So you do want to drink 8 to 10 cups a day minimum. I think that's a good amount. We're all different, depends on how much you're exercising, your sweat, the time of year, humidity. But before you cover the basics, you don't start worrying about all the medical conditions that can be the reason or the cause for constipation until you cover those. So make sure that you're drinking 8 to 10 cups of water. Now, we're in winter time right now, and what I find is that people in the winter, you're not as cold, you're not as hot, you're not as sweating, and so you may forget to drink just because you don't feel the thirst, you don't feel the heat, and I tend to notice that my patients are dehydrated in the winter more than in the summer. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you got to eat your vegetables. There is nothing works if you don't eat your vegetables. And a good amount is to have 3 to 5 cups of vegetables per day and 1 to 2 cups or servings of fruit per day. From experience, I find that fruit tend to cause looser stools, and so they tend to soften the stool. So things like grapes and watermelon and blueberries, and not so much bananas. Bananas will actually make have a little bit of constipation, but the berries, pineapple, these are going to be help with the bowel movements. Now the vegetables, you do want a variety of vegetables, different colors, greens and orange vegetables and red, and you want at least 3 cups and better if you can get the 5 cups. Fiber, water, antioxidants, but that's also part of the covering your basics. So if someone comes to me and they're like constipated but they eat 0 vegetables, that's going to be the first thing that we need to work on. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2. Number 3 is you want to make sure that you are eating enough healthy fats. So a lot of times, not as much anymore, but with the previous craze on low fat, everything was low fat, you actually think of fat as grease. I'm sorry guys, but it's visual, but you need grease so that things can pass. If you don't have enough fat, it's going to be harder. You're going to strain. It's going to be harder for things to pass. And one of the best oils for constipation is going to be coconut oil. It's antimicrobial, plus it helps soften and relax the muscles to have the bowel movement. So you can add some coconut oil when you're sauteing your vegetables, or if you roast them, you melt some coconut oil and you put it on the roasting. You can even make some desserts with coconut oil, or you can, lots of ways to use that. Olive oil is another good one, like as a salad dressing, if you're lightly sauteing. So be careful. Take a look at what you're eating. If you tend to be super low fat in everything, that actually might be one thing that's making you have constipation. Okay, so talked about water, vegetables, fruit, healthy fats. Now, another thing that I recommend for my patients is the Move It recipe, and that recipe is when you get prunes, which are dried plums, apricots, dates, and then you put those in water, and then you put it in a pot, and you cover with water, and you let it simmer for a couple of hours, and you take that, obviously no seeds, and you mix it with some flaxseed or chia seed, and you puree that, and you make kind of like a smoothie bowl. It's like a little bit thicker than a smoothie, but not necessarily a pudding because we don't have a thickening agent. And you can have like half a cup of this once a day. So it's getting the dried fruits. Like if you've heard of a lot of older people, they like to eat prunes because they help with the bowel movements. You're doing that even better by combining the dried fruit with water. So that's going to help it. That's another great place to put some coconut oil. So you can puree those vegetables. Figs make really good option as well too. And then after they're softened and they're pureed, you add a little bit of chia seeds or oat bran and a little bit of coconut oil, and you mix that, and you can have it warm, you can have it cold, you can make a batch and put it in the fridge and have every day a little bit for dessert. So that I call this Move It recipe. The next thing I want to talk about is magnesium. Now, this is a little bit on the supplement side, but I'm pretty comfortable recommending that on a video because if you stick to the upper limit, you should be okay. And magnesium deficiency is a lot more common than people think it is. And magnesium needs a whole video on its own, but it's very important for your muscle, for your bones, for what it does is really it helps muscle relaxation. So your digestive system is made of muscle, smooth muscles. So it helps those muscles relax so that you can have an easy bowel movement. Now, a lot of times the actually laxatives, they can be made from the milk of magnesia is a specific form of magnesium, but that's more like a laxative. You take it, it's very harsh, it's very strong, but that's not what we really want. What we really want is a magnesium form that is going to take care of the deficiency. So actually lack of magnesium or magnesium deficiency can cause constipation. And so if you take like a milk of magnesia, it's just going to trigger a bowel movement, or it's going to have a laxative effect, but it's not going to fix the root problem. And everything I do, I'm trying to get to the root problem. Now, the magnesium, the type that I recommend for people with constipation is magnesium citrate. and citrate, citrate, and there are different forms. There's oxide, which will make you have diarrhea, and I don't think you want to move from constipation to a bout of diarrhea. That's also painful. So citrate is going to be the better absorbed. That will cause the muscles to relax. There is glycinate, there is malate. They're going to be really good as well too. But to soften the stool, you want magnesium citrate. How much? I start with my patients 300 milligrams at night, and I've gone to 450 to 600. That's the max I would push, and I would actually do recommend that you work with someone when it comes to supplements, but taking the 300 milligrams of magnesium is not a bad start. If you want to know the specific product that I like and recommend, just write me in the comments. I want info on magnesium, and I will share that with you. So what we do is, let's recap. We talked about drinking water, 8 to 10 cups of water, vegetables, 5 cups ideal, 3 is minimum, 1 to 2 servings of fruit, taking magnesium citrate, having healthy fats, the Move It recipe. Now, I want you, the things actually we're going to try, things that you want to cut back on and not eat too much of. So one thing I always suggest that you cut back on grains and on starches. And what happens is grains and starches, they can be irritants for the gut, and they kind of absorb water. So when you're constipated, you actually want more fluids in your gut, not less fluids. So I want to make sure, so taking starches out of your diet and replacing them with vegetables and fruit, and root vegetables like sweet potatoes will be really great. So take out the white potato and replace it with sweet potato. Take out the grains and maybe top your meal with fruit, or put some orange and have that after your meal. The other thing that you can try to remove is dairy products. So it's milk, ice cream, cheese, and yogurt, believe it or not, can actually make some people constipated. So even though yogurt is has probiotics and touted for all of that, it may not have enough probiotics to actually promote a bowel movement. So taking dairy out and give that a try for 2 weeks, it might help you with the constipation. The other thing is being careful with too much fiber. So you've heard that fiber is good, and fiber, but if you're taking a lot of Metamucil or psyllium husk, sometimes too much beans and lentils can actually have the opposite effect. And that's when it becomes really important to individualize your plan. Like, we're not the same, we're all different. 50% of all of your gut and my gut and everyone else is the same, but the other 50% is so individual to you. And that's why one thing works on one person, but not everything. So with that, I want to make sure that you know some of the things that you can do on your own. Now, there are times when, despite doing all of this, and one thing I didn't talk about is probiotics. I've got mixed stuff with probiotics with my patients. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work as much, and it's not because it's the probiotics don't work. It's like, we really have to look at the individuality. Each person is different products, and also what's the underlying need for a probiotic. And that's what I'm going to say next, because we're all different. If you're still doing those basics and with the food, and you're still not getting the results that you want, you do want to, some of the things that may be happening. You may have an imbalance in your gut bacteria, and we talked about dysbiosis in a previous video. You might have something called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO. You might have in your gut a bacteria that produces methane gas, which is the constipation causing gas. You may have a food sensitivity, you may have low stomach acid, or a thyroid issue. Now, there may be other things as well, but these are some of the things that I mostly see in my patients and in my practice. So I wanted to share all of these things with you, so that try to do your best with what you can. But if you're still doing that and you're going through that checklist and there's nothing and you're still suffering, there might be an underlying cause. And I caution you from taking just a laxative, because what happens with laxatives is they, over the long term, they numb your digestive system. It's kind of like use it or lose it. If you don't train your digestive system to do its job, for the muscles to push the food and to process the food, then over time you're still going to be dependent on more and more laxatives, on more herbs, and like a senna pill or any of those things for the constipation to be relieved. And over time, like, you build tolerance to that, and it won't work as much. So that's just the caution from these products. Now, someone asked if I do recommend a colon cleanse. That is, I don't do it personally, so I can't say whether I recommend it or not. I know other providers who do it and they have great results. You just have to make sure that your specific health, what's your medical history? Is that going to hurt you in any way? What is the health of your gut flora? So I can't really speak about that because it's not something I use in my practice. So I hope that wasn't a lot of, it wasn't a very decisive answer, but that's my take on colon cleansing. Just work with someone who knows how to do them if you want to pursue that. So that was it. If you are joining me live, thank you so much for joining and for sticking around. If you are watching the recording and you have questions, if you have constipation, and you want answers and you've done everything in this video, you still have your symptoms, you're still not doing well, and constipation is making you feel yucky and bloated, and it feels like you can't tighten your pants, and it just also does the anxiety part and depression just because there's so much, you're holding on to weight. Like, think of it physically, but also emotionally. And also we know that when you're constipated, you're not getting rid of the toxins, and so they do build up in your body, any waste or byproducts. So if this is your case and you still haven't gotten any answers or solutions, that there are things that can be underlying causes, and if this is you, I would love to talk to you. So make sure that you write me a comment saying, hey, I'm interested in talking, or PM me, write me a private message, and I would love to chat and see if there's something that we can do individualized for you. So if you have any other questions, comment, and I will check them, and I will see you next time. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.